Hi, I'm Marcel. I'm from Evonik, and I would like to welcome you to our session on how SAP Ruum empowers Evonik to automate processes without code. I'm Marcel Gerloff. I'm the team manager at iTechnology Scouting in Digital Labs. So I'm located in the global IT, and we're responsible for scouting and rating new technologies, solutions, and techniques. And if some of the solutions passes our assess phase, then we are going to the trial phase. And this is exactly where we are with SAP Ruum. And before I give you some more insights with our experience with SAP Ruum, I want to give you some information about Evonik. We are a specialty company, and we are among to be the best in class, as you can see here from the facts and figures. And additional to that, we are not only having more than 101 nationalities in our company, we are also active in more than 100 countries. But what we are doing exactly, so we think no product is so perfect that you can't improve it. As you can see here, we are not a manufacturer of tires, towels, mattresses, or nutritions. We just put in new components in it and make it more fuel efficient, fluffier, bouncier, or healthier. So we are a lot of more products. That's enough for Evonik. Let's talk about our journey with SAP Ruum on low-code and no-code development, and in general about citizen development. As you all know, we are a big SAP customer since years, and we are at the moment on the move from ECC to S/4HANA. Regarding or next to this evaluation of ERP systems, we are also having new impacts from the market, like in this case, no-code, low-code, no-code development platforms. And we try to handle all these topics, and we were in touch with SAP, of course, as you know, and we have 1 year ago the first contact with SAP Ruum. What have we done in that area? So we have a look on it and have seen that low-code, no-code platform could solve some of our problems. As you can see here, we are challenging a lot of process topics, like in the tail end, how to automate the topics at the tail end, process or data risk, like everyone's using something like Excel spreadsheets, or some shadow IT is going on. So therefore we have some process data risks. Additionally, we have some financial impact. Of course, if you can't automate or optimize your tail end processes, there's also a lot of effort in, and then we also have something like a financial impact. So we are slowing down and we want to be more professional in that area. Additional to that, of course, a lot of manual process, independent if you have Excel spreadsheets or mailing or some other small solutions which are not managed or good managed, then you have a lot of processes in that area. So it could also be optimized. And of course, and for us, very important, because SAP is a big application in our landscape, we need some SAP integration. So we need a platform which is really good integrated in our SAP system, because we have so many processes which have SAP as an endpoint. And by challenging all these topics, we have seen that SAP has a very good idea or a new solution, which is called SAP Ruum. Here I can show you our journey so far with SAP Ruum. So we started with a scouting, having a first talks with SAP about Ruum. 1 year ago, it was only a light project solution, but with getting more in touch with the Roomies, as they call themselves, we get more insight what's planned, what's the vision of SAP Ruum. And we were able and also agreed that we will start a small beta, so we can have SAP Ruum to improve, and we can have a first look as Evonik on this low-code, no-code platform. And by doing so, it was very cool that we directly had some use cases in mind which are very necessary to optimize. And one famous one is here the purchase requisition request. So I will talk about it later and show you how the process has worked and how we have improved it. And with finding these use cases, we started some project work, creating all these the process, trained some of our guys who can use it, started the integration in our SAP system. And additional, of course, we have found more use cases, like text use cases. We have 3 text use cases. And with these text use cases, we have done a very cool citizen developer hackathon. So we just got all the people from the text department, some of IT department, and have done a hackathon to create their process directly in Room. And it was very cool and very funny. So 2 years ago, we just launched it. And for the future, we are planning to go live with, or in production, as you would call it, with SAP Room in the future. So I think with beginning next year, we will go live then. As I promised, I will talk about the purchase requisition for IT services, in this case also with creation and approval. Without Room, our process was very, I would say, complex. We have a lot of interfaces according to mailing, SAP, new systems or no system like Excel, and all that stuff. And it's go back and forth. And if you have missing some information, you're also going back to the step before, and also via this system, I would say, breaks in that area. And it was very complicated. In general, our procurement process is very streamlined and very cool. But as you know, in each department, you have some other rules, and you can't change the ERP system all the time. So therefore, it's a classical tail-end process, and we want to optimize it. And with this idea and deployed on Room, we were able to change it into this area. So as you can see from the steps, of course, approval and all that stuff, it's the same. But we were able to delete many of the systems in between, and we are almost only using SAP Room to do all that stuff. So independent, if you create something in SAP, you can use Room by that. All approvals are done directly in Room. Only our purchasing or procurement department is directly working in SAP. Everything else is directly in Room, and of course also tracking and monitoring. So that's very cool, a very good improvement for the system breaks. Here you can have a look how the SAP Room is looking like. So on the left side, you see just a general request, like a form, where you have also connections to your SAP system. So like if you want to choose something like a cost center or whatever, you are able directly to choose it here by this form. You have mandatory and optional fields. And as you can see, the user interface is very fancy and self-explaining. So very cool also on that area. And on the right side, you see the process a little bit streamlined, but also here in the mid of the picture, you can see that there is a connection to SAP where the request for procurement is directly created, and also after the approval released. So that's very nice. And we all created, or most of the topics are created, except the connector, within 1 hour with almost no training by our process experts. So that was very amazing to do the first one or the first use case here in this area. Of course, we had some help from the roomies, in this case, especially from Natasha. Very cool on that area. You can see here on this slide general architecture and integration of SAP Room. Like also we are using it. This is also just standard one. So you have the SAP Room, which is in the cloud, of course, and it's integrated via cloud connector to your systems. At the moment, as I said, we are on the SAP ECC system, but we are moving to S/4HANA, and there we have all classical interfaces or standard interfaces, and that's good and easy to implement, as I can promise you. Now I want to talk with you about something around low-code, no-code development, and also, as we call it, citizen development. So with the low-code, no-code development, it's able to change I would say, the role in the IT and the process, so that the IT guys can be something like a coach to the citizen developer, in this case, process expert or someone else from the business, so that the IT don't have to do anything or all the time creating new processes, automate something. You can give over the responsibility to the process experts because today they are, I would say, automate their processes or in Excel or other shadow IT. And in this case, if you have a platform like SAP Ruum, you are able as an IT guy to be the coach. Perhaps you are responsible for the connector and all the matching with your SAP system, but everything else can be done by the process expert. So all connection and all that stuff can be just used by, I would say, almost no code connecting and building your processes. So it will change, as you can see here in this picture, that IT will not be anymore needed for the low-code, no-code platform as a driver. So the driver seats can be given to the process expert. And this is also a cultural change. And for this cultural change, we had some program to be or to optimize the leverage of a low-code, no-code platform. We created an ideation jam, which is held each year, an idea of citizen developers. So we have so many guys in our company, as you have seen, more than 30,000 in our company. And many of them are able to do at least smaller topics, automate their processes because they're expert on. And all that area. Some of them also able to program. We just launched this program to like a citizen development to optimize and leverage also the know-how from the guys in the business. As you can see here on the left side at level 1, the classical citizen developer will create some small applications, optimize some processes, automate some processes, and can create something cool and not with Excel, so really with a good platform like Ruum. The next step on our side would be a Citizen Developer Pro. So you get more responsibilities like setting up connectors to some systems, external ones or internal ones, have more responsibilities and more opportunities to build applications and also automate processes. And the last one would be a professional developer. At the moment, most of the developers are in the IT department, and in Evonik, you also can get from these stages as an IT developer. What I just forgot to mention is that you also are able, also in the first step at level 1, to get an internal certification so that you are really certified and trained to be a citizen developer for the platforms. On the right side, you see a small chart. So what in general is a citizen developer doing? Get work done apps is the most topic they are doing. So as I said, they are working today in Excel spreadsheet or other topics, and they just want to get their work done. And if you have a platform where you can do it very easy and good, it's so cool for them and necessary, I would say. The second one would be something like run business apps. So some apps which are used by a bigger community, and only a very small portion from citizen developers will be customer apps. So like external apps where your customers can use it. And this is also something which Evonik said. In IT, if something goes to the customer, perhaps the IT should have a deeper look on it. Okay, this is how we are managing low-code platform and including the culture change with citizen development. Coming to my last slide, as you know, we have started a long journey with SAP Ruum, and we had some insight. We were able to do the beta testing and all the stuff around. And of course, you have as a customer some expectations to that. And now at the end, or 1 year later, we are very convinced that SAP Ruum will be a very good low-code, no-code platform for us in the future. Yeah, as conclusion, I will give you some more insights to that. So, or the rating from our side. Like the first one is a seamless SAP integration. So it's very important for us because we have so many SAP processes or processes which are ending in an SAP system. so that the seamless SAP integration was very nice and convinced us. So easy to implement and at acceptable cost, I would say that this is a very unique selling point from SAP. The second one is the speed. So as I told you on the Text Hackathon, they created some use cases, automated the processes, and it was so fast. So within 2 hours, they've created such good processes and optimized them. So it is very convincing, self-explaining, the UI is so good, so that the business is coming up to speed very fast. So very convincing on that area. Additional one, we have the collaboration. So within Room, you have the possibility to collaborate with your colleagues all the time. You can invite new colleagues. You can stop and start the processes by approval in other areas. And you have a chatting function within SAP Room. So a very good collaboration topic, and also the collaboration with the roomies themselves. So they are really good and supportive. This is also linked to the academy and support. So you get all the time support. It's like 24/7. The guys are very helpful, very friendly. The organization of the hackathon and also onboarding topics were so good. You can rely on that. Another point is our democratized IT. So you can bring IT to the business so that they are able to do their own IT stuff without the translator of IT. So they're possible to optimize and automate their processes. For us, that's also a very important topic. And last but not least, they empower employees and colleagues. So they have more responsibilities, but also more opportunities to build their own processes, to optimize and automate their tail end processes. And this is so easy on this platform, and you give them the possibility to do so. So in general, as conclusion, it's very nice, and we are fully complete that SAP Room is a very good low-code, no-code platform, what we want to use in the future. As I said, we are just in the beginning with low-code, no-code platform and also citizen development. And this is a very good journey where we are part of. And also in this case, we are happy that SAP Room is also part of our journey, and we try to go that road together and optimize our tail end processes. Thank you very much for listening to my session, and have fun on the TechEd. Thank you.